Welcome back, listeners, to the Wins and Losses podcast. This is your co-host, Joey Lacapo. I'm here with my esteemed colleague, the scholar, Mr. Evan Winkler. How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. End of the week, Thursday.
Oh.
It must be a day of football because we have the Dolphins on tonight versus the Bills, so we're getting ready to get going.
Yes. Thursday's always a good day. It's kind of the beginning of the unofficial start of the weekend,
Yes, so close to the weekend, so that's awesome. So, some big news out of college football right now. We got the closing of the spring portal has changed. The window is January 2nd to the 11th is the only time. Players still have 5 days after their final game. So if you're making the national championship game, you can still have 5 days after that. So that's kind of big news.
I saw that. That is big news. I tell you, this whole bouncing around of players switching schools whenever they want. It's kind of a free-for-all money grab. Whoever I'm going to go where the biggest money is offered to, I'm going. Now it just gives them a confirmed date, just a time, a 10-day window where they can leave one time, go to a school. They can't just willy-nilly just up and leave whenever they want for the highest bidder,
Because last year was like previous years was like December. When you're doing it in December and you have teams that are in the playoff, I think Penn State had a quarterback lead. Their quarterback left.
He's actually starting from Missouri now.
Yeah, it makes no sense how you can do that when your season's still going on. But that was when the window was. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, no, I always thought that was stupid. This transfer portal, that could be a whole show in and of itself. This transfer portal,
like the wild, wild west out there.
It really is. It really is. It's kind of annoying. It's really kind of professionalizing amateur athletics. That's the beauty of college football. These are kids. These are kids going to school. They're basically for their academics, their studies, get a full ride scholarship. That should be payment alone. Now it's like go to the highest bidder. I mean, these tuitions are enormous, and they're literally getting them for free. Yeah. So that's plenty payment, let alone millions of dollars. But, pay for play is one thing, but the whole transferring and I don't get my playing time here, I'm going to go to some other school there. This just kind of minimizes that and keeps that window at 10 days.
Yeah,
I like it.
I definitely feel like players should get some pay, because their college is obviously making a lot off it, but definitely the window needs to change. So I think that's big. I think Mr. Ryan Day, Mr. Crybaby, born on third base, crybaby day.
Crybaby day.
So that didn't work for him, but all the other coaches that pretty much think it's a good idea. So obviously we did a good thing and don't listen to the Ohio State guy. But I don't think you can really do much transferring in the spring either. I think it's just that's the window.
No, that's the window. That's the window.
I think that controls a little bit what I think.
For the playoff teams, they don't want to penalize your team for going far in the playoffs. You do have a 5-day window after your last game. So if you're in the Peach Bowl on January 13th, you do have, if you finish the Peach Bowl and lose, you do have 5 days where you can. So it doesn't penalize or make you lose your players right in the middle of a playoff or a championship run, So realistically, it doesn't penalize them. It minimizes their options. If you're a top tight end target that goes to, say, Penn State, and Penn State's in the Fiesta Bowl who plays on January 13th, it's like they could go out and find another tight end, and it kind of doesn't do them justice. Yes. But it gives.
We got to say, like most, I'm sure coaches. I know it's a rule, but I'm sure they are already contacting players and calling people.
Oh, 100%.
Like way before that window even starts.
100%.
So most likely, you know where you're going before the window even starts. So it's just a matter of time. So
right.
But at least they're trying to find a way to control a little bit, which I like.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, we buried the lead on that one. Who finished those 2 Monday night games? What would I end up that week?
I tell you, this guy's in Flip Fuego. If you are betting any games this week,
went 8-2 last week. 8-2. Mark it down. You want to make some money? Listen to my picks. I tell you.
I think Mayfield. even said on the broadcast afterwards, "Hey, this one's for Joey." They went it down there at the end, they thought for sure the Texans were going to win for me, but nope.
Yeah, and the Bolts, Chargers look good. Chargers look good on Monday.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's got that rolling. I didn't know. Have you heard Colin Cowherd's take?
I did.
Earlier this week.
This is right up Joey's alley.
I sent Evan a text yesterday because I did have to laugh. Colin Cowherd feels like The best coach ever in either college or NFL is not Bill Belichick, is not Nick Saban, is not Vince Lombardi. It's none other than Jimmy Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, number 4 from the University of Michigan.
It is very tough to disagree with that,
Yeah.
only because he took the University of San Diego from nothing and turned them into winners.
Yep.
He turned Stanford University from nothing into contenders year
And
in
look at where
year
they are
out of
now.
the
Usually,
Pac-12.
it's like interesting how teams turn out after you leave.
He went to the San Francisco 49ers, who were wallowing after the Steve Young era, you know.
Like 8-8 every year.
Turned them around, went to the Super Bowl, and for all rights and purposes, probably should have won that Super Bowl if there wasn't a blackout in New Orleans that day. But
that helped him.
Yeah. And then he goes to University of Michigan and does what? Wins a championship for the first time since 1997.
Pull it down.
That's right.
Pull it down.
Pull it down, Jimmy Harbaugh. And now what does he do? He goes to the Chargers and literally
dysfunctional franchise.
has
They were
transformed that franchise, and overnight they're probably odds-on favorite. I didn't look at the latest odds, but they got to be up there at least top 5.
Yeah, they look good.
Odds to win the
Offensive,
Super Bowl.
defensively, everything.
He puts them together. All of his teams are literally built in the same way. He builds culture. He builds lines, offensive line, defensive lines. He runs that football. It's hard-nosed, old-school, Midwestern, Bo Schembechler type football.
You know what he's going to do, but you can't stop it.
Right.
It's like one of those things. Right?
And he loves
because
doing
if you
it
have the
that
best
way.
lines, it doesn't matter what you do.
He loves doing it that way. That's his way. It's the way he was taught under Bo. It's the way he's played the game when he played for the Colts, you know, and the Bears, and it's just the Chargers. For all the teams he's played for, he is the gritty guy who wants a gritty team.
Yeah.
He's very fortunate he has Justin Herbert right now, who is a whale of a quarterback and probably MVP candidate for this year. But yeah, the Bolts are looking good. Jim Harbaugh's looking good. So agree with me or not, I think Jim Harbaugh might be the best coach ever. So you're watching greatness.
Yeah. Joey definitely is that's his favorite player of all time.
I love Jim Harbaugh.
Jim can't do wrong. Let's put it this way. But he is. It doesn't matter how quirky you think the guy is. He is a great football coach. No matter winning follows that guy everywhere he goes.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hey, I heard something interesting today. I don't know if there's any truth to the rumors swirling, but Dabo's kind of not held in very high graces right now amongst the Clemson fans.
Wow.
Just because they were supposed to be national championship.
There was a lot of hype around that team this year, and he talked a lot too before the season.
Currently 1-2, unranked, kind of not living up to expectations. I'm kind of hearing rumblings. I don't know, call me crazy, or you could say you heard it here first. If Billy Napier fizzles out at Florida, which with their schedule coming up with Miami this week and Texas in 2 weeks and Georgia in a couple weeks after that and Bama and Florida State, very well might fizzle out.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Napier, really.
It might not be out of the realm of possibilities. Dabo maybe might go to the SEC and go to Florida. What do you think about that fit?
That would be wild. I feel like he's the king of Clemson. You know what I mean? Like he's been. That program was really nothing, and then he took it over and has made that place amazing.
No, I agree. I heard that take, and I thought, wow, would he ever leave Clemson? That's like
he has a lifetime contract there. Like, so you think he's beloved forever? But
that's like Harbaugh leaving Michigan for another college. He left for the pros, but he never left.
I think the thing that's hurting him is he's really stubborn right now. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I don't want to do the portal. I don't want to do this or that. I'm going to recruit my guys. We're going to keep doing it the Clemson way. Well, I think eventually this happened to. You think basketball, Duke, right? At first, they weren't going to recruit those high-flying freshmen. He had a system, you know, and he wasn't winning those national titles. Then he decided, I'm going to have to change. If I don't change, I'm not going to win. And he changed, and he started winning again. Dabo's a great football coach.
With high-flying freshmen?
Yeah, then he got the high-flying freshmen, right?
Who are the first 5 high-flying freshmen?
Well,
you can remember.
The Michigan Fab Five. Some of the greatest ever. C-Web and the boys.
That's right, my guy.
So Dabo, I love Dabo, but he can't be so stubborn. I think he's got to change a little bit. And they have had some. They should be a lot better than they are so far this year.
So call me crazy, but I think it might be kind of food for thought out there. I personally don't think Dabo's going to leave Clemson. I think he will retire there. They'll build a statue of him. Right. He's won multiple national championships. I think he is He's beloved.
Is there any place do you feel like college football where he might be enticed?
Well, I always thought Bama. And even when DeBoer got that job at Bama, I thought Dabo should have been approached. Probably should have been the first name. Maybe they did, and he just said no way. But I do think Bama being his alma mater, there's something to be said about going back to your school and being able to win a championship with your school. That's what's so great about Harbaugh. I'm going to bring it back to Harbaugh. But, how awesome is that? He played for Bo. He bleeds blue, loves Michigan, and then to win that championship, how special is that?
There's nothing more special than winning at a place where you went to school.
So if Dabo went back and won one with Bama, I do think, but I don't see him leaving. He's getting up there. I don't know. He's got to be probably pushing 60, if not over. I think he's probably just going to retire at Clemson. I really do. But you never know. Florida would be an interesting take. Urban Meyer kind of bounced around, and he literally went home to Ohio State. He didn't graduate from Ohio State, but he's an Ohio boy. Went back and won it with his beloved Buckeyes. Harbaugh went back and won it with the Wolverines.
It's a great place to coach, too. Great athletes in Florida.
Yeah, down at SEC. You won't be hurt for recruits, I'll tell you that. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Dabo's still going to turn it around, but he's going to have to. He's got some work to do. I think that Klubnik was that Heisman favorite in the beginning. He's not even close now.
Yeah, no, I think they might as well give up the Heisman hype and just concentrate on winning games. They do have a very winnable schedule from here on out. They might have like Louisville on there, but nobody really. South Carolina at the end of the year. If Lenora Sellers is back, that might be a tough game for Clemson, but really they got nobody that's going to push them. I think they could win out, easily go 10-2, and 10-2 dependent.
You might get in the
ACC
championship. I think there's going to be a lot of two-loss teams.
There is. 10-2 is going to be that record. That's why if you're a Notre Dame fan, it's real tentative right now. 10-2. A lot of people think, we're still be okay. We're Notre Dame. A lot of people think that, we're in trouble. You never know. There's going to be a lot of 10-2 teams.
Like Ole Miss and Alabama last year, right? They're right there on the edge.
Sure.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. So the big games this week.
Yeah,
Big Ten.
It's our big Thursday show, and our Thursday show every week we're going to be doing all the, we're going to pick the top 5 college and top 5 NFL games. I'll let Evan kind of tell me which ones we're going to do. Which ones you want?
Well, let's start with I think probably the biggest game in the Big Ten, other than Go Blue, Michigan. Is
that's always the biggest.
Yeah, that's always the biggest. Or who are we fooling? Is Illinois and Indiana. This is a very interesting game, I think, for both teams.
For sure. Night game in Bloomington.
Yeah, we got Indiana or Illinois is number 9 in the country. I think Indiana's number 16, somewhere in that range. So this is a early season big factor, I feel like, that could possibly play into who might get in the playoff if they can keep winning games after this.
We were talking about 10-2 teams.
The other day, just walking
a couple minutes ago, but you look at these teams here; they have a lot of meat on their schedule. IU still has to go through Ohio State, but they duck Oregon and they duck Penn State and they duck Michigan. So if Indiana wins this, they could very likely go 11-1, and this could springboard them into the playoffs.
Even if they lost twice, they have a top 10 win if they won this game. You know what I mean?
No. Illinois. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Indiana. No, Illinois actually ducks Penn State, Michigan, and Oregon. Yeah. Illinois has Ohio State, so they could very likely go to. Indiana, I do believe, does play Oregon this year.
I'm looking up that schedule here real quick.
Indiana plays Oregon, and I think they might have Penn State. So this
they do have a couple here. They have, so after us, they have, it's Iowa. They have Oregon after that.
Yeah. So
that's going to be a tough one. And they have Penn State.
This might actually be a bigger one for IU, to be honest with you, just because they got a little more meat on their bone left here in the schedule. It's a night game in Bloomington. That place will be rocking. Coach Zignetti has that program fired up, It's kind of a real marquee game for them, just to see where their program's at. Was last year a fluke? Can they carry forward the success they had last year into this year? This game's going to be a big springboard. All eyes on them. It's a night game. It's nationally televised, NBC. The Big Ten game.
Illinois has all those players back on offense. Sure. Are they the real deal that they keep talking about that they are?
They're a top 10 team. Top 10 team coming in there. It's going to be a field rush if IU wins it, but we'll give you.
Yeah, we got 2 teams. Illinois has USC, which we don't know are they for real or not yet. They're undefeated, but there's a lot to. They play them actually next week.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be interesting, especially if they win. and then they have Ohio State. So those are their 2 early season games. I mean, those are their 3 tough teams. So they're really Indiana needs to win this more than the other team,
right?
More than Illinois. So, but yeah.
So who you got? What are you liking?
I feel like this game at Indiana, man, that's a tough one. I feel like Illinois is gonna. I just like the court. I think the quarterback play is huge. I think their quarterback is better than the Indiana quarterback. I know it's at IU, and that place is going to be going crazy. It's a road game. I'm gonna go with a road team. I just think Illinois is built to win a game like this.
No, I agree. Quarterback play is going to be huge. I do think that kid IU has that Fernando Mendoza, the transfer from Cal. He's a player, man. He's a real deal. He's a great quarterback. I know they have some good receivers on the sides. A game of this caliber, with the hype, being home, that does give Indiana the advantage. It's built on line play and toughness. And, I'm not a super huge, big Brett Bielema fan, the coach for Illinois, but he has that team built on toughness.
Yeah,
and I think toughness wins in the Big Ten.
Good offensive line.
I'm going to also go with Illinois pulling off that big road win out there in Bloomington. It's going to be struggles for IU here. I think this is going to be first of a few losses this season. They got very spoiled last year.
Had a great schedule last year.
They got set up, but boy, they got a tough road to hoe, and this one's going to hurt them. But Hoosiers will be fine. They'll get a nice bowl game, but I don't see the playoffs for them. So we'll go Illinois. Both go Illinois.
Both on Illinois in this one. We got next one. We got ACC and SEC matchup. We got the Gators are playing another ranked team. The Gauntlet at Miami.
You talk about a huge one for Billy Napier in Florida. Oh my gosh! Hey, I feel like
that quarterback stop throwing interceptions. That's the key.
I feel like his job might be on the line. I mean, can it possibly be on the line in week 4?
When a schedule like that, I don't know what you expect out of that guy.
Gosh,
that Napier is built not for success here.
He loses to Miami, and this puts him in a 1-3 to start the year out. Holy smoke! Or this will put him at 1-4 to start.
Do you feel like anything's going to happen with that quarterback? If he throws a couple early interceptions,
I gotta believe. I don't know who Florida has as a backup, but I think if he throws a couple more picks after throwing 5 at LSU last week, you got to see who you have in the backup bin there. I just feel that Lagway might just need to settle down.
Take what the defense gives you. Don't try to force things.
He's forcing it across the middle. His SEC defenses are fast. All that being said, Carson Beck's playing well. Miami might be the best team in the country.
Right. I mean, I was thinking that the other day. Like, if you look at the schedule they've had, how they play, they probably should be the team that's ranked number 1.
Yeah.
I think they play.
If you're truly basing the standings on this year's play, which should be, if you listen to our last show, that's how it should be.
Polls are garbage earlier in the year.
Polls are garbage. Miami,
from week 1, Ohio State and Texas to everything.
Yeah, Miami might be the number 1 team in the country. I see the Canes winning this one. I do think Florida's talent will keep them in the game, but I do think Miami's going to pull away late and win big. Well, not win by 14. Win by 14.
Yeah, I'm with you. Miami's got this at home. I think the quarterback he's a true turnover prone. He's going to make some mistakes, and it's just Miami's going to capitalize on it.
I agree.
Next game, we're going to go the big noon, Texas Tech, Utah.
Okay.
The big 12 showdown. 2 ranked teams. I think 2 hopefuls. We talked preseason stuff that they could make it to the Big 12 championship, possible playoffs. So this is a big game for the Big 12.
Sure, you win the Big 12, I think you get in the dance. I mean, I think that's what both these teams are going for. I can't see the Big 12 getting more than 1 team in the playoff this year.
Not many people are talking about Utah. I feel like when people don't talk about Utah, that's kind of the year they play well. Last year they were picked to win it, and they played horrible.
No, I think the winner of this game is actually going to push Iowa State. I think the winner of this game and Iowa State will come out of the Big 12, and I think they will represent the Big 12 in the playoff this year.
Who you got here?
It is tough. Texas Tech is playing well. Joey McGuire out there in Lubbock. They got a lot of oil
Patrick
money.
Mahomes,
They got Patrick Mahomes money. They got Double Eagle oil money. They got all this money pumped into Texas Tech of all schools. But I tell you, it's tough to go into Utah, going to that the student section out there, and
what are they called? What do you call it?
They call it the mighty Utah student section. You never heard that?
Quite a unique
There you go.
name.
There's a fact for you. But
fun fact. Joey's fun fact of that.
Yeah, there you go. Watch the game. You'll see. They'll say it. They'll say it at least 10 times.
Nice.
But I do think the Mighty Musts and I do think the Utah Utes pull this one out at home.
Going with the Utes, huh?
Yeah, going with the Utes.
I have this feeling deep down that Texas Tech is going to win it. I just feel like they're the sneaky team this year.
Okay.
I think Mahomes is going to give them a little call, probably Friday night, Saturday morning, give them a little hype. And they're going to come and pull up the upset away at Utah.
Call the upset, all right.
So if you're betting the game, make sure you pick Joey's pick because we've seen how the picks went last week.
We'll see.
So sorry, Texas Tech. And then our next game is Auburn versus Oklahoma. So a big SEC showdown. I think, as we've seen the Heisman predictions right now.
Got Jackson Arnold leading the Auburn Tigers into his former school, the Oklahoma Sooners. Jackson Arnold, the quarterback for Auburn, actually transferred from Oklahoma, which literally brought John Mateer from Washington State.
Who's a Heisman now. He's like
to
the leading
Oklahoma.
favorite.
Now he's the Heisman favorite. So there's like the quarterback shuffle going around. Around there in Norman.
Michigan has seen Oklahoma up close and personal.
Yeah.
Their defense, their offense.
Nope, they're a good team.
So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with the home team. I think the Sooners are primed. I think they've rebuilt that offense, that defense. I think it's going to be Oklahoma at home.
Good team. No, I think Auburn is going to literally put up a very good fight. I do think Auburn is going to play well and probably shock a lot of people by how well they hang with Oklahoma. Yeah. I think going away, I think John Mateer is the difference. Their quarterback is a Heisman Trophy probably leader.
He just makes the plays when you got to make a play.
He really does. He's real scrappy. He's like Baker Mayfield, man. I tell you, he is a great ball player, and I think he finds a way to get him in field goal position, and they kick the winner at the buzzer. I think the Sooners...
Buzzer beater.
Sooners pull this one out.
Buzzer beater at home, so we're both on that team together.
Both on the Sooners.
All right, the biggest game of the weekend.
It's always the biggest game.
Hail to the victors. Is Michigan at Nebraska, a Big Ten play. Obviously, Matt Rule, he's looking for a signature win in the Big Ten since he's been in the Big Ten. They got Raiola back his second year. They're at home anytime Nebraska. Got all the Nebraska fans are crazy out there for Nebraska football. It's going to be an intense environment, kind of like Oklahoma was for Michigan. So I even saw some players remembering some previous games that they played, and they were wishing they beat Michigan. So they're ready. They want Michigan more than anything. Any Big Ten schools always wants to beat the big guys, the big programs in the Big Ten. So this is going to be interesting. I'm really hoping that the game plan is similar to last week, especially with the offense, getting Michigan, getting Underwood out there running. Mixing in Justice Hayes and trying to push the ball downfield. I think our defense has had takeaways in every game. I think that's huge for any defense is when you get takeaways, even versus Oklahoma, right? The Heisman hopeful, they got takeaways from him too. So I see Michigan going in there. It's a big game. I think Michigan needs this win there. I think they're going to have a big win here.
Oh, go with the Maize and Blue. I love it.
Maize and Blue.
I love it.
No surprise, really.
You got to stay true, right?
You got to stay true.
Matt Rule, this is a huge game for Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. These are the 1997 defending co-champions, if you ask Nebraska, but not if you ask anybody else. We all know Michigan won that one. Michigan is 5-0 against Nebraska in the past 5 games they've played them. They haven't played them every year, but ever since 2020 they've played them, and they've kind of owned Nebraska. Nebraska just can't get out of their own way. They're just, they have
just
this
right there.
They have this Patrick Mahomes wannabe Dylan Raiola comes out.
It's kind of freaky, really. Isn't
comes out hopping and doing all of Mahomes mannerisms, and that's all fine. But he doesn't have Mahomes' talent. That's the problem. Yeah. Michigan's defense is going to come out big. Their defense has been steady all year long. They look pretty good. I do think Bryce started to show glimpses last week. I think you open up that offense, let him pick up some first downs with his legs, let him showcase that arm a little bit.
Let him sling it, let him rip it.
Establish that running game. Justice Haynes have a big game. Jordan Marshall have a big game. I think the Wolverines in this one, of course.
Yeah.
Go Blue.
Have you heard anything about the line? Are we getting a little out there on the two spots guards?
What do you mean?
The guards. We had the two guards.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't heard if El Heidi is going to be back and Brady Norton. I believe Brady Norton should be. His was just like a groin injury.
Good. Yeah.
El Heidi had something a little bit deeper on his knee. I'm not sure if he tore or sprained or... I did see him on the sidelines last week when I was there, but he did not see any playing time. But we're fine. We have some depth. I think Efobi can fill in for El Heidi. I think... Yeah, we'll be good on the line, but I do think we have to establish a line of scrimmage. I think it's Big Ten football. You establish both lines and you win. And I think Michigan does that.
Yep. Some other games we just have on the radar, not we're going to pick, but obviously the Civil War, Oregon State versus Oregon. So see if Oregon's not falling asleep, and you never know when you have a game like that, someone could lose. We got South Carolina, Missouri. See if South Carolina can bounce back, or Missouri's going to kind of keep going. And then of course it's USC and Michigan State.
The old
I think
11
we'll all be
p.m.
sleeping
kickoff.
at 11 o'clock when they kick off. So.
The old 11 p.m. kickoff.
The old 11 p.m. kickoff game.
All you Spartan fans, I'm sorry, man.
What a great time to play that game.
Well, it could be a blessing because you might not, people won't see them get crushed.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, we got our NFL picks games this week. We got tonight's Dolphins at Bills. Dolphins are
struggling.
0-2.
Yeah. No, they're struggling, and they look bad. The problem is with Miami is they just look bad.
Yeah,
I just don't see them turning it around. Unfortunately, this might be the final nail in Mike McDaniel's coffin. I do think if they lose and lose ugly tonight, I think a move will be made this week. I think they're probably going to let them go. So who knows? Miami needs it. I think Buffalo is going to win it.
Yeah, I'm going Bills. Bills just look too good. Then we got two undefeated teams. The Rams and the Eagles this week. So this is a big NFC showdown. Two undefeated teams.
I would say the game of the week, but we all know what's on Monday.
We know
night.
what the real game of the week is. Yeah. So we got Rams and Eagles. Can the Eagles keep it going? I'm gonna go Rams. I'm feeling Rams the upset this week.
How you taking my upset? That was my upset special right there, and he just took it right.
Yeah.
You guys all saw that, didn't you?
Yeah. I actually told his wife Lisa to tell me what his picks were, and she texted me just so I could make sure I looked a little better this week.
Blake Corum and the Rams as well in this game. I think LA.
Blake Corum and the Rams. You guys like
LA
that?
is for real. I tell you what, the Rams, Matt Stafford, former Lion, Blake Corum having.
Well, they got Adams and Nakua at outside the receivers.
Yeah, no, I think they're in their defense. Their defensive line are beasts, man. I tell you, I think the Eagles came off that huge win last week against the Chiefs. I think they came off the opener against the Cowboys 2-0, feeling kind of good about themselves. Yeah. I do think they're a fantastic football team and probably will end up in the NFC.
Yeah, both teams are going to be fine.
Deep in the
no
playoffs.
Matter who loses here,
but I think the Rams go and sneak this one out and steal it in Philly. I really do. Yeah.
Big upset. We got two teams that are kind of struggling. The Bears and the Cowboys. I guess Cowboys got to win 1-1 last week in a crazy game. The Bears got smoked. Can Joey's Bears find a way to get back? I don't think so. It's at Cowboys Stadium. I hate picking the Cowboys, though. I wish they would lose every single game. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this one because I just don't know if the Bears got it.
Well,
there you go.
I'll give you that.
You got a well here.
I might give you the okie doke, but I might not. I think if Caleb Williams struggles, and this might be one of the biggest shocks of the week, if Caleb Williams struggles, I would not be shocked if Ben Johnson goes in and gets Tyler Bagent, their backup, and runs the offense, and I think the Chicago Bears come in and win.
Whoa!
I'm going Bears. Bear down.
He's feeling the Bears. All right. He thinks the Bears aren't going on 3. All right.
All right. No.
I'm thinking his pick's probably better because he was 8-2 last week, so I can't say that. He's crazy here on this one. So next one's Broncos and Chargers, big AFC West showdown. The Broncos are 1-1. Obviously, Chargers are 2-0. We talked about that earlier. Huge game for both teams. The Chargers can win. They're up. They're up another conference win because they beat the Chiefs already. They beat the Broncos. They'd be 3-0. Broncos then would be 1-2. The Chiefs are 0-2. So this is a good game to keep separating themselves from everyone else in their division. I think the Chargers are just playing really good football. It's at LA.
SoFi Stadium.
I'm feeling the greatest coach in college football, Jim Harbaugh.
Greatest coach of all time.
All time with Mr. Herbert and that defense. They're gonna take it.
No, I agree. I think the Broncos are a great team, and actually, I'm kind of regretting picking the Dolphins to make the playoffs this year in my preseason picks, and should have picked the Broncos because I think the Broncos are a better team. But I think they're a good team. But I do think San Diego, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Or not San Diego, they're LA.
It's not the San Diego Super Chat. It's the LA Super
I just can't ever get that right. I can't get it right. So I do think
this sounds better.
I do think the LA Chargers come in, go 3-0, take that 3-game division lead and beat everybody in the division.
Yeah, that's a great early season league for them,
no,
really.
For sure. See Jimmy Harbaugh go 3-0.
Yeah, the big game is the Monday night game. The Lions at the Raiders. That is a huge early season. That might be the best game.
Might be a Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, could
Super
be.
Bowl preview.
Yeah.
Super Bowl preview right there.
Yeah. If we were picking the Super Bowl, we both picked the Lions and the Ravens, actually.
Well, I went the Chargers.
You went the Chargers. I went Lions, Ravens.
He did Lions.
I did Lions, Ravens. So this is a Super Bowl matchup for me. Oh man, this is tough. I kind of feel, and I know the Lions looked great last week, but man, being down there in Baltimore seems really tough. Part of me wants to pick Baltimore, but I just can't pick against my Lions. So I'm going Lions. I think Hutchinson's going to get after him. I think Hutchinson's going to do something. He's going to get some sacks against Lamar. I think they're going to stop that run game. I think they had that defense got some great turnovers. They're going to get some turnovers this week. I feel like the Ravens always find a way to be a little sloppy sometimes, and the Lions are going to stay clean, and they're going to get the win.
I hope so. No, I hope you're right. I tell you, this is a huge game and would not shock me a bit if it would going to end up being the Super Bowl, these two teams. It's going to be very hard to forget, and it's very hard to get that bitter taste out of your mouth of the Lions getting annihilated by the Ravens last year. I do think Dan Campbell remembers that. I do think Jared Goff remembers that. I think they go into Baltimore and they're
focused.
Yeah, they're focused and they're ready, and I think they actually need it more than the Ravens. I think they go out there and they get it done. It's going to be real close. It's going to be neck and neck. I think Jared Goff is the difference maker. I think him and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Gibbs has a huge game. I think Lions go into Baltimore and get it.
All right.
Going to Baltimore. So mark them down.
Mark them down. Those are the picks this week. Some other games just to note: Chiefs, Giants, 0-2 teams. I think if Chiefs want to make the playoffs, they got to win that game. Chargers and 49ers, another big game in that conference. So we'll see. But just some fun baseball facts.
Oh, got it. I'm sorry. Before we go, I got to mention it. And I know you probably see my hat. My Cubbies just clinched yesterday for the first time since 2020, making the National League playoffs. So congrats to the Council and the Cubs. Hopefully they can make a deep run. If not, win another World Series like they did in 2016. All my Cubs fans friends out there, I know they're excited about it. And the Tigers' magic number.
Tigers, baby.
That's right. Their magic number to clinch is still 7 after losing to the Tigers last night.
Who did they lose to? They lose
to the Guardians, Cleveland Guardians. But I know they're going to get it done, and hopefully we'll get to see a Chicago-Detroit World Series. How awesome would that be?
Boy, that'd be great. That would be awesome. Especially if the Tigers win. It would be better.
That might be the only
time you go against the Tigers.
I got to love my Cubbies.
Well, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe on YouTube and continue to follow us so you can see when we come up with our new podcasts every week. We'll be back probably on Monday. For, so
let you know how our picks finished up, and we'll discuss the weekend's play, both NFL and college. So we'll see you on Monday, and
go Blue.
Go Blue.